want you to go ahead and say, I get it in the chat. Deflation is not coming. All right. Every time they inflate, it never deflates. If you're young and you were Gen Z, you may not have been around long enough, but things don't ever go back down. All right. We never went back down to $1 gas. Once they realize that you are willing to pay the price for it and you'll find a way, deflation does not happen. The only time this happens is if people stop spending money on it. And we're not going to do that. Why? Because if you're in the West right now, Americans are not good with going without, period. So before we get into how to monetize the gifts that you already have, and I feel very, 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 like, this is near and dear to my heart. Okay, I want y'all to go ahead, like the live, share it with some people. Thank you so much. God bless you, EK or Ike Daddy. You know, this is how you can tell I've been traveling around the world. I was like, EK! And I was like, oh, hold on. It's just regular Ike. It's okay with being Ike, okay? It's me. It's not you, okay? I want you guys to go ahead and like and share the live with a few people. Now, the reason I tell you guys to monetize what you have is you need two things to make money. The first thing is consistency. And if someone tells you, oh, this is my trendy way of making money, and it doesn't fit who you are, you're not going to show up. You're going to start it for a week. You're going to get aggravated. You would have bought the course. You would have bought all this other stuff, got all set up, did this, and you have the information, but guess what? You don't want to do it. And it's not because you are lazy. You don't want to do it because it just doesn't fit who you are and what you do. For instance, I don't like sitting in rooms by myself. So for instance, I coach people all the time. I don't do pre-recorded coaching. I just don't. I can't. I hate the feeling of talking to a room that's empty. Now, some people, I have friends of mine, they are super intellectual. They are super smart. They will give you all of the information, right? All of this information, but they can't, you'll fall out the window listening to them talk. So they will provide you with so much pre-recorded information because talking to them will make you fall asleep. So you're like, just tell me what I need to know and get out of here. And that's what works for them. Everybody can't do hair. I know I can't. So if someone were to come up with something, you'll make $1 million next week if you learn how to do hair. First off, no, I can't do it. God did not give me that gift. And so if it is something that is not in alignment with your natural inclinations, your gifts, you are going to leave that thing right where it is a week later. And then this is the worst part about it. You will go around and you'll say, well, maybe business isn't for me. Maybe this isn't for me. No, that thing wasn't for you. You don't have a passion for it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brenda. So what we have to do is learn how to monetize the gifts. And let me tell you, one of the things that I have become amazing at over the years is figuring out what do I know to do and how can I position what I know to do in a way that makes me money? What do I do really, really well? And how can I offer this up to people who need it in a way that makes money and makes money in a way that I can sustain? What does that mean? If you a mama, a wife, a daddy, maybe you already have a full-time job because you don't have to quit your full-time job to start a business. You know, maybe whatever those things are, you may not be able to be out here all day and all night. So I had to say, look, I need to be able to get in and get out within a few hours. How can I make money in a way that only takes up maybe 4 hours of my time? Maybe I only have 4 hours of time. Whatever that thing is, you are the only one who knows that. And so what you have to do is tap in to what you have. Tap into what you have. Recognize what you have and learn how to monetize that. Now, my rule of thumb is every single one of you guys needs to start making money. I want you to say this. Okay, confirmation to you. Okay, Brenda, well, you go ahead and click the link in my bio. You need to be in the live workshop next Friday. And it's less than $10. Get in there. Okay, just go ahead and click it. Register now while there's still seats. All right. May God bless you and 10K for your business. Amen. Okay. Now, here's what I do know. According to Gallup, 6 out of 10 employees want to be their own boss. That means the majority of you watching right now, you're probably watching from work. You want to be your own boss. That's Gallup. That's not me. 6 out of 10. And it's probably 7 out of 10 because the other person that they needed to bring into the poll didn't show up to work that day. They were so stressed they called off that Friday. So 6 out of 10 of you guys want to be your own boss. Now, here's the other stat, is that only 14% of you are willing to take a risk to start a business. What does that mean? That means that you need to find a way to create this business that's not out of a crazy, crazy high risk for you. What does that mean? You need to make money in a way that you already know will work. And the only way to do that is for you to monetize your gifts. Point blank in the period. So what's the main problem? I'll say this. The first main problem is most of you guys come up with ideas. You have things that you want to do or you kind of do and you question whether or not you can do it. Why? Because you're thinking 10 steps ahead. And how do I know this? Because I've been teaching this to people for years now. And the number one reason why people don't go ahead and start the business is they're already thinking about the business as though it has 50 employees and, all of this and all of that. They're thinking far ahead. What I want to teach you guys is how to close your first customer within 72 hours. If it takes you longer, then I'll say max 48 hours to position this business and longer than 72 hours to get your first customer. It's too complicated. But I'm also wanting to position it in this way because, hey, Allison, hey, Brownlee, how you doing? How y'all doing? The reason I want to position it this way is because you need to get your first taste that this can work early. Some of you guys have been sitting on ideas, sitting on ways that you can make money and do really well and enjoy making, because I love talking to people. So every time I speak with a client and I help them and I see them succeed, I get a dose of dopamine. Like I will sit until someone figures it out. And my day, like whenever I see my clients have breakthrough, my day has automatically gotten better. So when it's something you enjoy doing, you're going to do it again. But some of you guys need to get your first taste. You need to get that first blood. You need to get that first money to hit your account. You have to get it. But the only way to do that is do something that you're inclined to do. So that's the first step that it takes. And the first thing that you'll need to launch a successful business or to just generate an income stream. Because some of you guys get scared the moment someone says a business. So I'm going to say generating a new stream of income by taking money from someone. And offering them a product and taking the money from them. It's not a business. Because some of y'all get scared the moment you hear the word business. All right. I'm not a business person. As soon as you hear the word business, it's like risky. No. A new stream of income where you offer a product or a service that you're already really good at and you get money in return. Some of you guys need the first taste of someone putting that money in your hand and be like, oh, and then being happy about it. Okay. So that's the first thing. It has to be something where you're gifted in. Why? People will not engage something. This is psychologically. This ain't even me. Now, some of y'all don't fit this, and that's great. Some of y'all are risk takers and all that good stuff. Good. But most people need to feel like they have 64% of what it takes to do something before they will fully engage it. Meaning, if you dip your toe in the water and you don't feel like you're good at it, you're not going to keep up with it. And that's the number one problem that I see when people start businesses or they start their new streams of income is that they quit too early. So what do I tell them to do? To find what it is that you're good at and create a business around that, something that you do exceptionally well. And the second thing that you need to have a successful business or income stream is competence. You've got to be more competent than the average person doing it. What does that do? It eliminates market saturation. There are certain things that I do that I know I do really, really well because God gave me the gift. That's all it comes down to. And there's certain things that I try to teach other people. And my clients are like, how did you even get that out of this person? Like I have a sales development, leadership development company. And they're like, how did you get this person? And I can't even answer because I know it's a God-given gift. That is the thing that separates you. So when people say, well, do this and this trend or whatever, and it's not around your gift, you are automatically going in with the herd. You're automatically going in with everyone else that isn't so good with it. Now you got to do all this crazy competition. But when you have gifted hands and whatever that thing is, you don't really have competition because everyone's like, instead of saying, well, all these people do that, they're not even worried about the price. They're like, I got to figure out how to pay it. Because this person obviously does this thing way better than everyone else. So I want you guys to write in the chat, what is the first thing that you need to have a strong business? What's the first thing you need to do? I'll give you two things. What's the first thing that you need? Type it in the chat. And thank you guys so much. Continue to like and go ahead and share this. Share this live with 5 people. This is very important, y'all. We are online worried about everything else. What Taylor Swift got going on, Nicki Minaj growing, and this person going against this person. And we're looking at the government shutdowns. All we're seeing is every reason why we need to be focused on our business. I am about the Lord and the dollar. Let me tell you this. You cannot help people if you don't have extra money. You can't help. The reason you need to make more money is more money allows you to show up for others. If you want to really make me feel bad, let someone have a need that I can't fulfill. Let there be an organization that I want to help that I can't do. And I'm telling you this, y'all. How many of y'all are on here who saw 2008? How many of y'all saw 2008? Elena said, period. How many of y'all remember 2008, economic crisis? You need a man to fulfill you. I'm married. So anyway, and I got Jesus. But anyway, how many of you guys remember 2008? Economic crisis, people losing their homes, all this other stuff, right? Right before the drop, wasn't everyone singing and dancing like nothing was happening? Like, oh, everything's fine. Now we have social media to make it to take it to the next level. And so every single day that you go without monopolizing on your opportunities to make money is an opportunity loss. You're losing money. Then how about two? You so crazy. So every single time you do that, you're missing out on the opportunity. You have to take the chance. And it's not even a big chance when it's something that you do. So you guys put in the chat, what is the first thing? I haven't seen it in there. What is the first thing you need to be successful? The first thing you have to do. Easy. First thing. I said there was 2 things. Write it in the chat. Elena, what is it? I was 10. I don't know. Elena, you're trying to make, I said I'm an elder millennial. Elena said she was 10. She don't know what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened in 2008, okay? In 2008, it was an economic crisis, the whole thing with the housing market and the banks and all this other stuff, right? And next thing you know, everyone was losing their jobs. They were foreclosing on homes. Many people lost homes during that time. It was hard to find a job. It was all of these different things. But right before that crisis, everyone was singing and dancing like everything was all good. It was like, boom, here today, gone tomorrow. Next thing you know, everybody was eating lean cuisine for a long time. It was so bad, in fact, that there were people on Wall Street unaliving themselves by jumping out of the buildings because they lost so much money so quickly that they no longer wanted to live. They just jumped out of the buildings to their demise. Okay? Us elder millennials and everyone before them, we remember that. Oh yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. So be happy that you were 8. All right? I was working in sales at the time. So these are the things that happen. And usually right before then, everyone is distracted by everything else. And this concerns me. And I know that even if half of you guys were to focus on that one idea that you know you could take to the level, you'll be fine. So I'm going to start getting into the hows and the whys and things of that nature. But beforehand, I want you guys go ahead and share this. Thank you so much for sharing. Darren said, good luck. I don't know. He said, be blessed with you today. Says, yes, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. So I'm going to get into how to do it. This is how to do it. Because, and this is what gets me off. The issue is, it's not about how to. Some of you guys have not started because you're so afraid that you don't know how to do it. You've never done it before. So the first thing I'm going to say is God did not give you the spirit of fear. Okay? You have to be strong and courageous in all the things that you do. But guess what? When you're using the gifts that you already have, you don't even need that much courage. You just got to start. And so what I do is I help people to identify what those gifts are and to formulate an offer that they can start bringing to the market. So the first thing is I want you guys just type in the chat, how many ideas have come to your mind already that you sat on and you watched someone else do it? I want you to say me, if you've ever had it where you had a great idea that you sat on and you doubted yourself and you watched someone else go and take your idea to the next level. Any of you guys seen that happen? Type me in the chat if you've seen that happen. You had the idea on a Friday, you sat on it for a year. Next thing you know, you saw a commercial or you rode by a building or you saw something that had that idea that someone started making money off of. If that's you, type me in the chat. Type me in the chat. Let me see. Because some of y'all on here lying. Type me in the chat. And so what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about a couple of different things. The first thing I'm going to talk about is why this is the time that you have to do it. 2, how to determine whether or not your idea will work. Most of you guys haven't started because you're questioning, is this going to work? Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Well, really, I'll give you the formula to know whether or not your idea is going to work. But mostly it's all about how to work your idea. Especially if you have never started a business before, or if you've never offered a product or service to people, or you were not consistent with it. Maybe you got frustrated in the marketing. Maybe you got frustrated, in the sales systems, right? Okay, she says, nothing comes to mind, but I always have interest with energy storage. Well, that was your thing that come to mind. That's your thing. Let me tell you, God moves through inspiration. I didn't even mean to preach today. Sometimes we're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. A lot of times you'll notice that you're constantly drawn to a certain thing. And you're like, why is this always coming up in my head? And guess what you do? You just turn the TV up. You just scroll again, right? And you ignore it. And you ignore it until you see someone else doing it. You ignore it until you see someone else doing it. So it may be that. And guess what? We do need energy storage. Did you guys know that right now with AI, part of all of these countries are rushing to build out AI and the biggest platforms, but one of the number one problems that they have is whether or not they can produce the amount of energy necessary to allow the platforms to get to the space where they need to where energy is the number one problem that they have. So Elena, you're not off. You see how the Lord just drops nuggets? Okay, I remember there was a time, and I'll give you guys an example. I remember there was a time where everyone was like, learn how to code, learn how to code, learn how to code. And I was like, well, Lord, maybe I should go learn how to code. And he was like, no. Now I realize why. I just coded something on ChatGPT in 5 minutes last night. And I would have spent all day and all night doing that. So you definitely don't want to do that. So there's only a few things that you need in order to start the business. The first thing that you need to do is identify something that you do well. What is it that you do well? Now, here's the thing when it comes to gifts. Most people don't recognize that they have a gift for something or a knack for something because it comes to them so easily. Meaning the things that are a gift for you is typically something that you can do just about effortlessly. So effortlessly, in fact, that you assume that everyone else can do it just as well. Your gifts, you don't know how to start. This is the problem. Well, go ahead and scan the link there and join me for the workshop next week at 12 Eastern. And when you do it, download the workbook, finish the workbook today. Okay, it is less than $10. Okay, the workshop, all that stuff is less than $10. Download it, finish it today, so that way you won't be lost when we work. Why? Because when I teach, I'm not talking just an overview. We're going specifically into what you found. I really love to organize the process to prevent any mistakes. Exactly. So what I'm going to do next week, for those of you guys who do this, we are going to go through the process of starting. So identifying the gift, identifying market opportunities, meaning how do you know that people need this thing? So I have this rule that for most gifts, most people can find at least 10 ways, 5 to 10 ways to monetize their gift. So let's say you have one gift, you got one talent. There's usually 5 ways you can make money off of it. Then you have to figure out what's the best way for you to do it. That's when you need to consider your life, your lifestyle, your time. How much time do you have? You know, how do you specialize in it? What is the medium in which you like to do it? For instance, I do a lot of coaching and teaching. I like to work with people one-on-one. So for other people who like to do things pre-recorded and just do all these things, yes, that works for them. And it does work. It just doesn't give me energy. I get bored. So I don't have the same amount of life when I do it. So I have to figure out a medium that works for me. But also knowing that I don't have all day to do it. So I have a business model that focuses on group development for corporations. Why? Because I don't have 100 hours to spend one-on-one with people. So those are a couple of steps that you have to look at. So for every gift that you have, if you have one gift, there's usually 5 ways to monetize it. And what I will do is walk you through, based on your lifestyle, which one is going to be best for you. But that's why you need to fill out the workbook first and come to the session with the workbook done. It should only take you about 45 minutes to complete. So that way, because I'm going to pull specifically from what you've done. And it's really easy to read, really easy to flow through, but you want to have that completed before you go. So just sign the QR code and do that. Okay. Well, then let's do it. Girl, this ain't a speech. I really feel a pull to, I'm like, even if I get 5 of you to start a business, to bring in an income stream, you are going to be prepared for 2026. The government shutdown has shown you that you cannot rely on what is reliable, that nothing is truly stable. And this is what happens. If there's layoffs at the job, if the way that you were doing business dries up, or if there's changes in the economy, if there's rumors of war, if there's more government changes and things of that nature, when those things happen, you will blame the government. But what you should have blamed was the amount of time that you settled. And that really gets to me, because people will blame the government, they'll blame the economy, they'll blame whoever's in office at the time, they'll blame the manager, they'll blame this, they'll blame that. But who they did not blame was themselves for when they settled for less than what they were capable of. They will not sit there and say, I'm in this position because I took a huge opportunity loss. The amount of time that I could have been spending making money and putting money aside, I had a huge opportunity loss. And so even if it's a handful of y'all that don't become those people, I'm happy. And this has been something that has sustained me throughout the years of economic downturns. If there were surprise bills that have happened, I wanted to buy a house, I wanted to go on vacation to certain places, paying off debt, all that other stuff. How many of you guys have realized that in order to do life for real, your job's never enough? But that doesn't mean you have to work yourself to the bone. Your job can only control how much money they pay you. They cannot control how much money you make. So if you're sitting there like, and you're mad that they didn't give you a promotion, what was the promotion gonna do? So you mad because they didn't give you an extra 10,000 when you could have already made that times 4. I gave myself promotions, and then the promotions that I received from my jobs at the time were icing on the cake. Then I got to the point where it was like, man, this job versus this, I'm sorry, but what I'm doing, what I've been building for the past couple years has replaced this thing. So it's okay. It's a process. And guess what? Someone else got to have that amazing job that I had, and it was a promotion for them. When it no longer was a promotion for me, it was a promotion for someone else. So scan the QR code. For those of you guys who are on here, click the link in my bio, download the workbook, finish it today. But so you have to, for every gift that you have, there's usually 5 ways to monetize it. Let's say you have 3 gifts. You have 15 different things that you can monetize. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through what your gifts are, the things that you're already good at, the things that's going to separate you from other people. Because I don't want you to get into a market that's saturated and you doing something that you okay at and someone else is excellent and you wonder why you're not making money. No, you got to, now this is not what I mean, y'all. You got to use what you got to get what you want. And I don't mean that down there. What I mean is the thing that God gave you to get what you want. Your gifts will make room for you and bring you in the rooms of important people. Bring in the rooms of kings. Okay, the next step is you have to figure out, and I'm going to walk you through what your actual offer is. What your offer is. For instance, my offer is I help entrepreneurs make money by developing their sales teams. I help entrepreneurs make money by optimizing their sales systems. That's not what we're talking about today, but that's my normal day-to-day work. That's my offer. And guess what? It's something that I do very well. So even if there are other people in the market, your team not going to like that person the way they like me. I'm their cousin and auntie. They're going to call me on the weekends. When they in Atlanta, they're like, Yanni, can you come to the game with us? Da, da, da. The other person you're going to hire, they're not going to have that. Because I'm really good at that. I'm really good at creating buy-in, creating focus, things of that nature. So when those companies work with me, they not only make more money, but they have a stickier team because I'm operating in the areas of my gifts. Meaning I'm not starting at the floor of something that I'm not great at and wondering why it's taking so long to come up. No, I'm starting in an area where I just got to get the mechanics down and I'm going here. So the second thing we're going to do is help you to formulate what your offer is. Why? Because if you don't know what you're truly offering to someone, you don't really know how to position it in the market. You're just all over the place throwing things. This is how you know you have a good offer. And this is why I say I'm going to teach you how to make your first sale within 72 hours. You have a good offer. Once we identify the gift, what the needs are in the market, you know you have a good offer if you can get your first customer within 72 hours. If you can't close someone within 72 hours, it's too complicated. Or you're waiting until you have a perfect product. You have to know your offer so well that you know who needs it, where to find them, and you can almost already think of 5 to 10 people who this product or service could help out a lot. If you're not able to answer that, you don't know your offer. You have to know how to do that. If you can't close the deal within 72 hours, it's too complicated. We're going to leave that for the people that already have established income streams. They got the time, the effort, and the money to play around with a bunch of stuff. Okay? If you're here right now, it's because you're getting started on making money right now and making additional streams of income now. All right? So 72 hours max. Every time I have a great idea, it usually comes to mind. I take about 48 hours to think about it. And this is someone who started several businesses. And the reason I take 48 hours to think about it is not whether or not I'm going to do it. It's how should I do it to make sure that I don't overpromise or underdeliver. Or most importantly, I don't start something that I come to resent. I've seen this in years of coaching entrepreneurs. They have a great money-making idea that they later, thank you so much, God bless you, that they later come to resent. Why? Because they like the money, they hate what it requires them to do. And most of the time, if they would have just taken a little bit of extra second to say, how can I make this make sense for my life and still be able to deliver an excellent product? Why? Because you have one life. You don't have your work life, your home life. You got one life. And if either part of that is miserable, the other part is going to suffer. So what we're also going to do is figure out what is your offer? How do you need to deliver said offer? And who your offer is for. Okay, so those are 3 things. So the first thing is that you're going to need is you need to be able to use your personal gifts and skills. Why? So you will show up consistently to work this thing. The second thing we need to do is make sure that it's something that you're already competent in, that you do well, that you do better than most. Now, if you're watching this and you're saying, I don't know what I do better than most people, then you really need to be there. Because I've never met a person who didn't have a gift, but I have met people who have never been affirmed in their gift. Meaning no one told you that that thing was valuable. No one told you what you were exceptional in. No one told you that you should be confident about that thing. And so I've never met a person who didn't have a gift, but I've met plenty of people who've never been affirmed in their gift. And so some of you guys need to click the link on there. So one, you can go ahead and fill out the workbook so that way you can identify your gifts and come to the workshop so we can go ahead and affirm you in your gift. So you can have that battery in your back so you won't be shaking in your boots to start, okay? So we're going to help you identify your gifts. The second thing I want to help you guys to do is to identify your immediate needs. This is the number one reason why people don't start things, is they allow their immediate needs, aka their stressors, to get in the way. But here's the thing. When you bring in additional amounts of revenue, more money, then you can finally start addressing your immediate needs. The only thing is your immediate needs are like this. You can't see past it because it's sitting right here. And because they've been unaddressed for so long, it's just sitting here. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. This is the workbook, by the way. If you're on TikTok and you see the TikTok shop, this is the hard copy of the workbook. But if you go to the link in my bio, I believe there's a flash show right now where it's like $7 or it's less than $10. I'm going to say that. Okay. Y'all going to have to tell me how much it is right now. But I believe it's about $7. It may be cheaper than that. I think there's a promo code out there. You may be able to get the workbook for $4. Yes. Put in sorry50. When you go to that link in the promo code, put sorry50 there. If you go to the link in my bio, or if you're on YouTube and you scan it, and you'll get it for like $4. Okay. So what are we going to do in here? We are going to figure out what your gifts are, but we're also going to address your immediate needs. Okay. So I want you guys, and I'm going to do a quick poll really quickly because I think this is important to do. Let's see. Are they going to let me do the poll? I think so. Now, y'all know good and well, I'm supposed to have my glasses on right now. How many of y'all know I'm supposed to wear glasses? I'm sitting here like, what in the whole world? What did it say? Y'all, every time I come on here, they got something new. Okay, first thing is I'm going to pin that so you can see it. I was supposed to pin that earlier. Y'all know if they pin that, they send more people to the live. But I want y'all to share the live with a few people. Share it. Okay, so here we go. Thank you so much for liking the live. We're going to get there. I thought I had a few different questions to ask you guys, but I guess I'll ask y'all on here. Yeah, they update this thing so often that I'm just like, yo, what are we doing here? Oh no, not the lightning Q&A. Okay, so I want you guys to put in the chat, how many of you guys right now have an immediate need, and I want you to say how much money it would take to solve. So if you say you have an immediate need right now, that if you had an extra $1,000, you could solve it, or you could put a dent in it. If you only need an extra $1,000 to do it, I want you to put that's me. Now, if you have an immediate need, or say you need an extra $10,000 to solve it, I want you to put that in the chat. I want you to put 10K in the chat. Meaning you got something to stress you out. If you had 10K in front of you right now, you can take that stress that's like this and the reason why you're not doing nothing and take it right here. I want you to put it in the chat. So if you need 1,000, if 1,000 can get the stress down, I want you to put it there. If it's 10K, I want you to put the stress down. Put it in there. Now, if you have immediate needs that cost $50,000 to solve, I want you to put 50K in the chat. Put it in there. You're either at 1,000, you're either at 10K, you're at 50K. Some of you guys say, I need 100K. I want you to put in the chat right now. And I want to show you how nothing you do is something that you can't handle. I'm going to bring this up for y'all to see. All right. I'm going to bring it up for y'all to see. So one of the number one things that I teach people is about opportunity losses. What is an opportunity loss? An opportunity loss is what you could have had if you were to pursue it. Most people will only look at the losses that they could physically see. What do I mean by that? You saw the surprise bill. You saw what it was like because you have to fix your car. You can see what your tuition is. You can see what the credit card rates are. You can see what it costs, the amount of it costs to get a nice house, or you want to move into a certain apartment, or to move your kids to a better neighborhood. Those are the things that you can see. You can see where you are versus where you want to be. But the number one cost that most people do not see is an opportunity loss. So I'm going to share this with you guys because you have to start thinking differently. The opportunity loss is always the biggest loss that people experience. It's the money they never made. It's the money that never came into their hands. Let me put this calculator up here. Yes. So it's all of that. And I want you guys to see this. And so I have this, if it's on that same link, if you go to the link in my bio where you're going to sign up for next Friday's workshop. So let me see if I can turn this around so y'all can see it, because TikTok try to hate on me when it comes to camera. Okay. So my mama drew me that, by the way. So this is what I have on my website. It's on the same thing. It's an income opportunity loss calculator. And it helps you guys to see how much it's costing you by sitting on your behind. So maybe you have a business that you wanted to add an additional division in, but you're like, okay, this is how I've been making money. I'd like to find a way to squeeze some more income out of what I'm already doing. Or say, for instance, you don't have a business right now, but you have a gift or a skill or an idea that you'd like to monetize. I want to show you how much money you're losing from that thing. Okay, so let's say, for instance, you're like, look, I bought all the stuff from TikTok. Okay, I bought the cleaner, I bought all the mops and stuff. I love to clean my house. I love to do this. Let's say you're like, hey, you know what? I want to start a cleaning business, and what I do is make everyone's house smell like the Marriott, and their house going to smell so good and be so clean that they're going to be like, this woman has to come back next week. And they're going to call you, or this man, they're going to call you the moment their house stops smelling so good. So let's say, for instance, you're like, look, to start off, I'm going to charge $350 a cleaning. All right. And you say, look, I ain't got a lot of time right now. I got kids. You know, I still got a job. I still have all of those things, right? But let's say I think I can afford 4 cleanings a month. Let's say it's that. Have a good day. Thank you. It's Olivia. Let's say you're like, I can afford 4 cleanings a month. Boom. All right. So, not 5, 4. 4 cleanings a month. And what you're going to do is see how much money you're losing over the course of a month. So that's $1,400. Over the course of a year, that's $16,000. So for some of y'all who are like, oh, I could have made this money, and the thing that's stressing me out, it costs $10,000. If I had an extra $10,000 right now, it would solve it. And over the course of a lifetime, even it is costing you $7 million. Okay, and I fixed that as 30 years. Okay. And the average business has at least anywhere between, and we're going to say a 15% annual growth. 30% is like the very, very aggressive businesses, right? But we're going to say you're not lazy. You're going to do what you need to do. You're going to have a 15% annual growth over the course of a lifetime. It's costing you $7 million. Okay, let's say you have a cookie business, right? And let's say you have, like, you put together really, really cute cookie baskets with bows, all the stuff that I can't do because I can't cook well. And I burn stuff while standing in front of the stove because I get distracted. And the next thing you know, I'm like writing down an idea and all this other stuff. So that's not my gift, but I will surely buy from y'all. If you could cook, you are the person where you're gonna make money off of me, because I'm the person that loves to bring people gifts like baked goods that are cute and pretty, but I'm also the person that can't make it. So So let's say you had a basket. Let me get to it. Let's say you had a basket of, I don't know, baked goods at $45. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to make this basket. It's the holiday season coming up. I think I could sell, let's say 5, 10, 15, 20. Maybe I can sell to 20 people. Just, 20 people a month, right? That's an extra $900. But let's say you're like, no, these things are good. I think I could sell 10 people a week, right? Of this $45 basket. Me and my kids gonna put this basket together, right? That's over the course of a month, $1,800 or $21,000 over the course of a year. Now, some of you guys may be like, oh, well, that's not enough. Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. So if I were to give you $21,000 right now in your bank account, if you put it in your bank account right now, I want you guys to write what you would do with the money. If you had an extra $21,000, put in the chat right now, what would you do with the money? What would you do with it? Don't be quiet. Would you pay off your car? Would you pay off a credit card? Some of y'all need to send some tuition to your kids' school. So when people are talking about when immigrants come to the United States and they make so much money and da-da-da, it's because they understand this, that every bit counts. Okay, let's say you have a product or service that you can sell, and let's say it costs $600. All right, I don't know what the thing is. Maybe you do. That's how much people pay. Well, I don't know. They probably pay more for hair weaves now. Let's say you make wigs, okay? I don't know what you do, but let's say you do that, and you're like, you know what? I charge $600 for them, and let's say all you did was have maybe 6 customers that you made wigs for. 6 customers. That means you have 1.5 customers per week. That's an extra $3,600 a month, $43,000 a year, $1,800. Plus calculate whatever it is that you're making right now from 6 customers. Now let's say you popping and you get aggressive with it. You say you got a little extra time and it's 20 customers. That's what it is. Let's say you you like to paint. You paint houses. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you paint rooms, you paint interiors or whatever. Whatever that thing is that you do, don't assume that sitting on it is costing you nothing. No, sitting on it is costing you everything. Maybe you're here. Maybe you have an idea that you could sell for $30,000. Right? So when I work with corporations, this is normally kind of where we start. Even if you had 2 customers, you signed 2 deals a month. That's $60,000 worth of opportunity. $720,000 a year, $313 million over the course of a lifetime. So never assume that you're not losing money by sitting around worried about what Cardi B doing. Because guess what? Cardi B doing this. While you sitting around looking at, them arguing online, let's be honest, they making money. Everybody who's arguing has product out. Everyone who's arguing has albums coming out. They're going on tour. They're trying to do all of this stuff. So all they're doing is bringing attention to what they're doing. Why? Because they understand that if I can get more people thinking about me and increase this number of sales from maybe 100,000, right? Maybe she got an album and she got 100,000 sales and the album costs $18. She like, oh, this is the kind of money I need to be bringing in. And then she's like, oh, but instead of 100,000, we're going to make it $1 million. Oh, cool. I just made 216. Oh, we got more eyes? Let's turn it up. Let's argue with another rapper. So we could sell 2 million. Oh, for real? Let's talk about Taylor Swift. So this is what they doing. Is they're taking advantage of every opportunity. Meanwhile, we're watching, thinking that we're watching tea. Friend, you are the tea. You are the product. You are not watching tea. You are the tea. This is what they're doing. But we'll sit on ideas, and then when there's layoffs and all this other stuff, we mad at the government. And every day that you wait and you're not monetizing your gifts, meaning I didn't say monetize something you're not good at, because it's got 1,000 hours worth of work you got to put in. I'm talking basic things that you already know how to do. So I want you to where if you know in your heart, I should be making more money right now. I should be bringing additional income into my household. I should be creating more stability for my family. I should stop wasting time absorbing things on the internet so other people can make money. If that's you, say me. If you know, hey, I have some good ideas, I want to do it, I just need someone to kind of walk me through the process a little bit, right? If that's you, say it's me. How do I know this? Because all of us want someone who's done it before to walk us through the process. So there's a couple of other things. So we already talked about, in order to see success in what you're doing, you need two things. There's a lot of things, but these are two things that are most vital. One, it has to be something that you're going to show up to consistently. This is why all the trends and, if you do this and this is how you scale this and blah, 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 haven't worked, because they didn't take you into consideration. Just because they were able to make money doing it, you can make money too, but are you going to keep doing it? That's why you need to do things that are based on your skills and your inclinations. The things that you do well, not what's a trend. Why? Because something can be trendy, and that doesn't mean you're going to trend your behind and do it every day. Okay, just because it's trending doesn't mean you're going to show up. So it has to be something you're going to show up. And I believe in that. Every single one of you guys, you have a gift that you can make money off of. It's just no one has affirmed it yet, and you haven't recognized it. Here's a sign it's a gift. You don't even recognize it's a gift. You assume that everybody can do it. You think everybody has that recipe. You think everybody can clean the way that you clean. You think everyone can make documents the way that you document. You think everyone can organize the way that you organize. You think everybody sees life the way you do. You think everybody can counsel the way that you counsel. You think everyone can draw the way that you can draw. You think everyone can make wall murals the way that you do. You think everyone can decorate the way that you do. You think everyone knows how to cook the way that you do. You think everyone knows how to make smoothies the way that you do. You think everyone knows how to make, home remedies the way that you do. You think everybody juices the way that you do. You think everybody does all the things that you do because it comes so easily to you that you think it's easy to everyone. That is a sign that something's a gift. Whatever you do that's in that category, you don't have to worry about market saturation. The only thing you have to worry about is having an offer and putting the systems in place to be able to create predictability. This is why most people have difficulties when it comes to building a business. Is businesses require systems. Hustles do not. A hustle is, I'm just going to try this, hope some money comes in. You can make money, but systems is what gives you predictability. Meaning, I know I have ads on Facebook and all this other stuff, right? I know based on my ads, I'm going to have this number of people go to my website, right? I know I'm going to have this number of people go and add to cart. I know I'm going to have this number of people who are going to purchase. And I know there's going to be some people that abandon the carts. And I have systems for that, for people who go and they're like, well, I don't know. I mean, maybe I should think about it. And then they go and they make a sandwich and they forget. I know a percentage of them are going to do that. So I have an abandoned cart email for that to bring them back in. And then some people are going to need to see other people do it 10,000 times because they're late adapters and they like opportunity loss. And they only do things when their back is against the wall. So they're going to wait until they have no money left. And they a day from being evicted. And they're going to be like, Yanni, can you show me how to make some money doing this stuff? I know all of that's going to happen. So I have systems in place that allows me to capture those sales regardless of what part of the funnel that they're in. So that is what systems do, is it creates predictability. So what are we going to do? We're going to establish what your gifts are and the different ways you can utilize those gifts to monetize. Oh, here's a third step. Almost forgot. That's why I have notes here. Systems. Because I know that I'll just jump all over the place and start preaching. Okay? The third thing we're going to do is we're going to establish market needs. So there's a lot of things that you can do But we got to figure out, how do you want to do it? And 4, which is the biggest problem based on maybe where you are or the state of people? Because just because you think it's good doesn't mean it's a problem for someone else. So we're going to find the thing that you do that solves the biggest problem that people are the most agitated with. What are they the most agitated with? What is the thing that's most inconvenient for them? What is the thing that if you were to do it would make their lives easier and better? We have to establish, out of all those different ways that you can use your gift, which one has the biggest agitation? Then we select 1 or 2 ideas from there. Now, I recommend starting with one thing and scaling that one thing and then moving to something else. Why? Because I think in terms of systems, I like to get one system established very, very well before I add another, and I add another, and I add another, and I add another. So we're going to figure out which one of those things you can put your attention to and establish systems from there. Then we'll set goals. Okay, cool. Well, based on this, and we're going to establish this system. This is where the customer is, because we're going to identify the customer, where to find them. Then what we're going to do is establish a marketing system and a sales system for that. How are you going to acquire that customer based on what you do? And at the end of it, we would have established what you do well, how you can monetize it, who needs it, which one of those things are they most agitated by? And then the most important question is, in what way can we close your first deal within 72 hours? If you can't close your first deal within 72 hours, it's too complicated, or you don't know what your offer is. The other reason why I want you to close your first deal within 72 hours is because you need to see that it's not hard to make extra money. Because I will say this, analysis paralysis is a real thing. There are so many people that are less talented than you, that are a little less smart than you, that are doing way bigger things because they're not spending their time and analyzing everything that could go wrong. They're looking at everything that could go right. And some of us need to taste some success before we're convinced. Some of you guys need to just taste what a win feels like. You need to taste what a winning season feels like. You need to taste that you still have something to offer the world. Because your spirit knows. That's why you're so agitated. That's why you're mad at work. It has nothing to do with those people at that job. It has everything to do that something in you knows that you have more in you. And so now is the time to do it. And not only is now the time to do it, now is a critical time to do it. For those of us who lived as adults in 2008, we saw the same thing. Wars and rumors of war, economic turmoil, crazy this, crazy that, passing crazy laws, all of these other things. It's written on the wall. But are you going to walk head first into traffic? Like you ain't hear all the cars coming. We just going to do this? I'm doing really good, Larry D. Thank you. Thank you so much for sending a gift. God bless you. Are you just going to do this? Or this is what I'm seeing so far. People have gotten so beat up with life that they've become indifferent. Like, just run me over. Who cares? We can't afford to do that. That was the whole point of it anyway, is to make you stop trying. So what are we going to do? The first thing that you need to do is go ahead, tap the link in my bio. Cultivating Vision and Strategy is the workbook. You're going to see it. You're going to complete that before it's over. And I'm going to show you what you're going to see when you go over there. It's really, really easy, but I do this because I'm a teacher at heart. All right. So we're here. Let me share this real quick. This link is going to take you to my website. All right. I do everything from one website. Why? Because your girl be distracted. I can't do all of that. All right. So it's going to take you to my website. Okay. You're not in this area. Okay. Unless some of y'all have sales teams and all that stuff and you already have major corporations. That's not where you're going. You're not going to hover anywhere here. This is the only thing you need is a revenue workshop. All right. You're going to click here. It's going to bring here. Are you ready for new streams of income? Yes. Now you could just click buy now and it's going to pull it up. You can scroll down and read why I'm doing this. Yes, yes. This is why the other things didn't work. Okay. Then let me see if I can pull back a little bit. You're going to come here and you are going to check this portion out. Okay. Right now it is $8. All right. When you check this out, you are going to receive a confirmation email. Okay. And once you check out, well, the first thing you need to do, and I'm going to say this to all of y'all, is $8. When you check out, you're going to download the workbook. It's going to come to your email. You're going to finish said workbook. You have 30 minutes. You've already been sitting here for 30 minutes. You can finish it on a tablet. You can take out a notebook and write the answers down. You can print it out. It is the same one that is pinned on the TikTok shop. It is this workbook, but it's going to be digital. It's not a physical copy. Now, for some of y'all, if you really want a physical copy, go ahead. You can go ahead and click it right here and get the physical copy. All right. If you just have to have one, or if you like me, I try to fill this out every year. Okay. You're going to finish your workbook. This is important. The next live workshop is not an info session. What do I mean by that? It's not like watching a TikTok live where you're going to sit down and listen and absorb information. We're going to talk about specifics, meaning I'm going to say, hey, turn to, let me see, because this is the one that people have the hardest time with sometimes. All right. I'm going to say, everyone, turn to your gift tree on page, I believe it's on page 22. Am I lying, Jesus? Okay. I'm going to say, everyone, turn to your gift tree. Okay. And on the gift tree, you're going to see it has that on there, right? And I'm going to say, all right, let's talk about the 5 different ways that you can utilize your gifts to make money. And then you're going to have this portion of it filled out. Okay, let me hold this up. You're going to have this portion of it filled out already, because we're going to discuss specifically market needs versus your gift tree. Why? Because you can have something that you really like to do that other people don't need right now. If they don't need it right now, they're not going to spend any money doing it. That's the thing. Sometimes people start businesses that are hobbies because it's things that no one else needs. Your gift is for other people. It's not for you. If you have a gift that's not for other people, it is a hobby. I'm sorry. Somebody had to say it. Your gifts are for other people to benefit from. If no one else benefits, it is a hobby, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have hobbies, and I do it to make myself happy, and I do it to hang out with my friends. But if no one else needs it, it is not a gift. It is a hobby. So when you're done with that, you are going to fill out your workbook, because it is not a listening session. It is a live session. And you're going to get an email. Once you fill this out, you pay your $8. For those of you guys who are listening right now, if you were to add the promo code SORRY50, okay, y'all see I put that on there? SORRY50, you apply the code, now it's $4. Okay, so you can't even go to Chick-fil-A for $4, all right? And that will give you access to it. Why do I do that? Because if you don't pay for it, you're not going to do it. All right? Then when you do that, you're going to get an email, all right? And when you get to the email, you're going to see this, all right? And it's going to have here this link on there. And you are going to RSVP to the next session of the Right Fit Revenue Workshop. That is next Friday. You click here, you put in your email address, and you'll have all of that. So that way it goes to your calendar. So that way you're in the live session. All right, so you're going to come over here. It's going to make it real easy where you're going to see the picture, everything. It's going to look like this. All you got to do is only one date. All right, all you got to do is click that. Okay. And you go RSVP for the next day. Is at 12 noon. You only have one option. You fill this out. So that way the event goes to your calendar. And then the last step, the very last step, let me flip the camera, is you show up to the session. That's all you have to do. And so with a completed workbook. So that way we can teach you how to start monetizing your gifts. All right. And so very, very, very important. And then the cool thing is that you get to come in and we'll work on this thing together. Why is it so important to me? One, because I want all y'all asking me for $2. Okay. When everything hits the fan, I ain't got it. Because you're gonna have it for yourself. All right. You're gonna have it for yourself. Number two, we have to start creating legacies. Stop trusting in the government. Stop trusting that people are going to make the right decisions. Stop trusting that the people within your corporation are making the right decisions. Don't believe that they have the answers, even when they say they do. Okay? Stop assuming that inflation is going to get better. Stop assuming that it's just going to be something magical that's going to happen and you're suddenly just going to find the way. No, you have to go ahead and start working the thing. Number two, there are people out here getting money. You got to stop wasting the time and opportunity. Here's the thing, and I'm going to say this especially to everyone that's Gen Z. If you're watching a Gen Z, don't assume you're going to always have the energy. If you agree with me, type amen in the chat. If you know what I'm talking about, don't assume you're going to always have the energy. Don't assume that you're going to always have your health. Don't assume that just life is just going to continuously give you opportunities over and over and over again. Don't assume that someone else is going to provide you with the perfect opportunity. Don't assume that your job is going to promote you. We're going to decree it, but don't assume. You want to know why some of y'all got passed up on your last promotion and they told you it was this and that? It's because they didn't have the money to promote you. But they can't say that. They ain't had the money to promote you. Ask me how I know. Because that's who I work with. Okay? I'm not saying no names, but that's who I work with, are business owners. And sometimes they'll say, well, try again in 6 months. And you thinking it's something that you did in next year when they're hoping that they have the money next year. So I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm not taking my hands outside of me and Jesus. I'm not taking my hands off the driver's seat of my life. Sometimes we're like, Lord, I need help. I need money. Da da da. You're like, God has forgotten about me. He's like, no, I gave you. It's art. He said the kingdom of God is at hand, meaning it's already here. It's already here. You just didn't use it. And because maybe you lack confidence, you believe people online when they say that they have a tried and true way that you're going to make money regardless. Even though what they ask you to do is nowhere in your personality profile, nowhere within your skill set, nothing that you like, you're not going to do it. You're going to pay for it. You're going to get started and you're going to hate it when you already have gifts that God gave you that you don't even have to really do that much to tap into. The only thing is you're afraid that it won't work. It's silly. And the other reason I'm saying this is it scares me the amount of time. What's up, Humble? It scares me the amount of time and effort we are putting into what celebrities are doing. Kanye West, what was it? His betrayal list, where really everybody needs to put their own name on there, because it's likely that if you're not pursuing the things that God gave you, you're already betraying yourself. But we're not going to even go there. We're talking about relationships and, if women need to do this and men need to do this and blah, 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 blah. You already betraying yourself, friend. You worried about who Cardi B is arguing with, Taylor Swift, whether or not she's afraid of her ex's, what do they say on there? Black girlfriends. What else? What else are they talking about that has nothing to do with your own business? Absolutely nothing. So get on there. I'll see y'all next week. Click the link there. And then I'm going to do this. It should be pretty easy. All right. If you want me, let's do. Okay, y'all. I don't know how many of y'all go live, but I feel like every time I log in, TikTok got something else they want you to do. You know, it used to be like you had one button. Now they got playbooks. I don't know what none of this stuff is, y'all. Hold on. Viewer wishes. Okay, cool. That's not what I'm trying to do. But anyway, if you want me to send you the information, if you for sure want me to send you the information about next week's workshop, just send me a DM. But literally, you can just click it. All right. You could literally just click it and you'll get it. Thank you so much. But yes, y'all, we have to stop betraying ourselves and following freaking online Ponzi schemes. Okay? Mind you, I'm not telling you I'm going to teach you how I make blah, 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 blah. I'm saying I'm going to teach you how to use what you got, what you already know how to do, your unique idea, your unique gifts, and just put a system to it to where you can earn money. That's it. I'm not telling you that I need you to do the exact same thing I do, because me and you, we built different. And that's fine, because God made us all different. So based on how you are built, what you're good at, what you have interest in, like maybe you're supposed to be giving kids tackling lessons. I don't know. I don't know how to tackle anybody, but you do. Maybe you're supposed to be teaching kids how to run. Maybe you know how to weave a basket that someone else knows how to do. I don't know. But you know what it is. And all I'm going to teach you is how to identify the skill, how to monetize it, okay? And to put systems behind it that allows you to generate money predictably. And that's normally the things that people are missing is the systems. A business without systems is a hustle. The issue with the hustle is that it's unpredictable. So you want to create systems that bring predictability to what it is that you're doing. That is the goal. Predictability. That is the difference between a business and a hustle. And you can add systems and layers of predictability to everything. Everything does not have to be mom and pop status. Now, those things can work now because I'm a direct sales girl. I believe in asking people for the money. I will bring you that product to your house. I will do all those things. I have no problem with it. Okay? But I have systems in place to where I can be in more places at once. Meaning, if I'm talking to you right now, like I'm talking to you guys on live right now, okay? And some of y'all, as I'm talking to you, there are already people who are viewing my website currently. Okay? So I'm talking to y'all direct. But there's other people where I'm allowing ads and things of that nature to talk for me. That's called a system. Systems allow you to be in more than one place at the same time. Hustles never allow you to be in more than one place at the same time. You want to have a system. Now, here's the thing. Most of the time, if you've never, and this happens all the time. This is why I do believe in each one, teach one. Okay. If you've never ran a business before, you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say systems. So there's 4 systems that you need in order to establish predictability in business. All right. You need a marketing system. How are people going to see you? So for instance, in my medium, I use meta ads. And I use Google ads. That's how people see my business. But I also come in and I just talk to y'all. Cool. How are people going to know about you? You need a marketing system in place. Now, here's the good thing. When you first start, most of the time with the gift that you have, you can already identify people who need it to where marketing could be as quick as, hello? Right? For me, when I first started my leadership development business, marketing for me was I wrote an email and I created a Google Doc and I wrote a list of 20 people who I knew needed my help. And I sent them an email and a link where they can pay. That was marketing for me. That's how I established that portion of my business to where within 72 hours, I was getting paid. So in the beginning, it may be that, and that's okay. And what we're going to do is establish some sort of system where you can start making money within 72 hours. And then you take that money and you put it back into it. And you create more marketing systems where more and more and more people buy your product. Okay, so that's the first system that you need. The second one that you need is a sales system. How are you going to deliver the product? How do you deliver the product? How do you take their money? Who's going to be the one that takes their money? How do they pay you? So once they see you, they need the ability to pay you. So we're going to establish a sales system that works for what it is that you do. Every industry is different. Y'all got me there? So first system that you need is a marketing system. The second thing you need is a sales system. The third thing that you need is a retention system. The easiest customer to get is the customer that you've already had. How are you going to retain people, keep them coming back? You want to put it on clockworks where you remember, systems allow you to be in more than one place at the same time. Hustles only allow you to be in one place at one time. So you're going to learn how to put those things together. All right. So you have marketing systems. That's how people know about your business. That's how they know about you. If they don't know about you, you do not exist. That's the truth. There are times where people, and I've had potential clients before. This isn't usually my client, but they're like, I don't know, business is slow, da 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 da. Okay, where do you market? Nowhere. What if no one knows about you, Uncle Joe? How are they supposed to find you? Well, they can pass by. People don't even leave the house anymore. Well, I barely leave the house. Maybe y'all leave the house. I don't really leave the house like that. I do sometimes, but yeah, barely. Okay. So you need the sales system. How are you going to convert? How are you going to generate leads? Okay. 3, delivery systems. How are you going to deliver the product consistently? Now, in the beginning portions, if you're the person that's delivering the product, that's fine. But there's different mediums to deliver a product. For instance, I do have digital products, but I like to do things live. Okay. Why? Because I get energy from doing that. I cannot sit by myself all day, not talk to anyone. I need to hear you, feel you, all that stuff. That's why I teach my stuff live. So when you get the workbook, you're going to be at the next live session. Even if you have one headphone on and you typing at work, you're going to have this, you're going to have your workbook over there, you're going to do your thing. Okay. So that's how we deliver. That's how my delivery systems, but based on what you do, it may be different. And the last one is just the client communication system, also known as a retention system. Basics of it is pipeline goals, revenue goals, retention goals. These are the things that once we identify what your gift is, we're going to identify how you're going to deliver it and a way for you to get your first sale or sales within 72 hours. Now, does it end there? No. Because as you deliver product and service, you're going to get what's called feedback. This is why you don't have to wait until things are perfect to do it. I am a big component in not allowing analysis paralysis to get you. Because even if you launch an imperfect product, you're still bringing money in. The number one reason, because remember, 6 out of 10 people want to be their own boss, but only 14% of people are willing to make a desirable financial risk in order to do so. So that means you got to bring some money in, because the moment it starts looking like it's costing you too much, you're going to quit. And what I like to do is I like to train people based on how things are versus how things should be. You should. I mean, we take all kind of risk every day, right? But most people, if you're going to bet on anyone, you should be willing to bet on yourselves. But that's not what it is. We like to stay on the farm. We like to stay on the plantation. Why? Because the plantation, we know we're going to get 3 almost square meals a day. So we're like, oh no, boss, if I should leave, right? And maybe you shouldn't leave. But because of that, what I do is teach people, how can you use your gift, the thing that you're good at, create a business and make money within 72 hours. Why? Because as soon as you start making money, the less of a risk it is. The less of a risk that it is for you, the more it is that you're going to be willing to further invest and actually take more risk. So it's easy for me to get you to spend, let's say, $500 on ads if maybe in the first month you made 1,000 or you made 2,000. Or maybe I'll say, look, I've had a mentee of mine that I said, look, we're going to get this thing going. Do you have $50? Okay, yeah. You got rent pay. Okay, you got $50. If you got $50, we can start you some ads. And even if you get one sale, okay, you up. You got $50. Every single one of y'all, you just spend $50 on something. And then you just do that. And let me tell you guys, there are so many people who start businesses this way. Yes, we know that certain groups of people don't get the same amount of funding or whatever, but guess what? Tough titty. I can't believe I just said that. that is so childish of me. How did that come out? Lord, how did that come out? Tough titty. I ain't said that in a long time. I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. Okay? I don't care what they say. Tough titty. Well, they don't do this. Tough titty. Do you want money or not? Are you going to put in someone else's hands forever? Then you might say, well, I'm so old and I just don't know. Well, you ain't going to get no younger. Okay? You ain't going to get no younger. And every day that you wait, you're just getting older. And things ain't getting cheaper. And as long as you're still alive, you're supposed to be doing something. When you no longer have purpose, the Lord will take you. So the fact that you keep opening up your eyes every day, he's like, all right, maybe she's going to get it today. Maybe he's going to get it today. Whatever. God did not create you to stay in the same place all day. When you look throughout the Bible, all people did was move around. Doing new stuff. Going to the promised land. Going here, going there. Building. Farming, creating orchards. They are creating. And the Lord said the kingdom of God is at hand, meaning you already have it here. Some of y'all trying to reach to the moon. And that's why you ain't never did nothing. And that's why you be complaining at work. Or maybe you already have a business. And maybe you just need to figure out, okay, I have this. I already have these ingredients. Why don't I do this? I had a client one time that was running a restaurant, and I was like, and they're in a smaller place. I was like, why don't you get some frozen food? Instead of throwing away all this food, why don't y'all freeze it? Now they have a frozen food service. Making stupid money. Why? Because I don't live there. I can't get it unless you send it to me frozen. Matter of fact, I need to order one of those frozen packages from her too. Because her food good. But I'm like, don't be wasting that stuff. You better figure out how you can freeze it and send it to people. Now you have zero food waste. So there's so many different things there's so many times where people already have the idea, the money, the everything at hand. They just didn't take the time to say it. Notice I didn't say, I'm going to show you how to do digital products. I'm going to show you how to do this. No, I'm going to say, God then already planted something in you. You just haven't done it. And you don't know where to start. And I get that. So go to the link in my bio. Just click once. Download the workbook. I already told y'all it's $8 right now during the flash sale. If you put in sorry 50, because I had an ad that was messed up. And I was like, oh, snap, I got to get y'all a discount code because of one little trigger. But this is also a business rule of mine. You check your numbers daily to see if something's off. There was one button that was off where people can check out. So I put a discount code on there for everyone who tried to check out and couldn't. So the discount code is still up there. It's only $4. Why do I charge that? I charge it because if I don't, first off, if you are not willing, because a lot of times it's just my way of weeding out. I prefer working with smaller groups of people that I can go deep with than a whole bunch of people who just watching. That's the only thing I don't like about lives. Is there's a lot of people absorbing information that ain't gonna do nothing, ain't gonna bust a grape, but they're gonna be in everybody's comments talking about how life is unfair. I don't work with those types of people. They make me very angry. If you want to make me angry, be a victim. You want to make me angry, complain. Complain about something that you have zero plans of doing anything about. So I know that if you're not willing to spend $4, $8 on something, you're definitely not going to invest in yourself. You're not going to invest the time. You're not going to do that. And the thing is that so many people be like, well, you can download this and do this. I don't want you to download nothing of mine that you're not going to do anything with. Don't even put the waste maker spirit on anything that I create. I don't want people who are wasteful to touch nothing that I do. If you like to waste time, if you like to waste money, if you like to waste your experience, you like to waste your gifts, you like to waste your energy, you like to waste your creativity, you like to waste your breath, you like to waste all of those things, stay from around me. Stay from around me. I got time for wasteful people. I don't. I'm about to get at some of y'all. Some of y'all are wasteful. How many of y'all got clothes that have tags on it since 1995 you ain't never wore? Waste. It's a sign. You like to sit on and waste stuff. All right. Waste not, want not. But the number one thing to not waste is the thing that you have. So you're like, Lord, I want you to fix my financial situation. He's like, I told you to start that business 5 years ago. You wouldn't be here if you would have listened. So don't look at me, look at you. I told you to do it before the creek rose. I knew the creek was gonna rise. But you didn't do it. You didn't do it. You know why? Because you worried about what Cardi B doing. You worried about what's happening on The View. You worried about what Donald Trump doing. You ain't up in Washington. You better get your coin. You worried about what Kamala Harris doing. You worry about what they're doing in India. You worry about what they're doing in Britain. Meanwhile, what's going on in your house? All I know is it ain't looking right, and I'm going to need my money. And you're going to need yours too. And I'm going to need y'all to get y'all money because I don't want to be the only person out here. It's a dangerous place to be when you're the only person that got some resources. Guess what? Your family going to need your help. Your family going to need your help. Tuition's not going down. We have to stop waiting until our backs are against the wall to do something. And the number one thing that people waste is time. Wasting time overthinking, wasting time worrying, wasting time being nosy and minding business that don't pay you. Just wasting time. Do you all know that's why entertainment makes so much money? Entertainment makes so much money because so many of us are screaming for a distraction. That's why even when during economic downturns, they don't lose a dollar in entertainment. Why? Because they know if y'all are feeling bad about yourselves, you're going to watch even more. Yep. To distract you. My thing is, guess what? You can contact me. I'll send you the info. Oh, I got to get my little juice. Hold on, y'all. Don't get mad at me on YouTube. Let me see what my dog is doing. Hey, baby. And your spirit is like, oh, we got to play. We got to play. Every time you sit down. That's why you can't get no rest. Every time you sit down and not do it, your spirit is like, I'm gonna tear his behind up. I'm gonna tear him up. I'm gonna tear him up. That's where all the discomfort is coming from. You gotta do it. Thank you for waiting. Did y'all see my pictures from Bali? Yeah, I'm so happy. It finally got a little cold. That's why I had the sweater on. I had a cute shirt on, but I said I ain't gonna freeze to death. It's finally weather where, I put a little sweater weather on, and I pulled out my fall scented candle today in my office. So it's officially fall. I put my sweater on. I did that retail light on. Right. But yeah. So do it. So how do you get the information? You can go to the link in my bio, or you can send me a DM. You can contact me. But if you go to the link in my bio, go ahead and sign up. Download the workbook, finish it. This is going to be a live session. I teach this live session on Fridays at noon. All right. To small groups. Okay. It ain't going to be 5,000 people in there. Why? Because I'm going to walk you guys through this process. This is not my main business, but I do feel it's important for many people who have questioned whether or not they can do it to understand that they can. You can. That thing that's inside of you, you can bring to life. And guess what? Let me tell you guys something. Some of y'all are like, I don't know if I have this. I don't know if you have that. God will always give you what you need commensurate to your calling. So you may not have everything, but you have what you need. And I'm saying that with force. I have learned that, y'all, I have launched businesses and marketing campaigns with $50, $75, $100. God will always give you commensurate to your calling. Whatever you need to start, he'll always make sure you have it. So don't worry about what you don't have. And when you have favor, you don't even need what everybody else have. Amen, Lord. They not amen to me, but I got you. I got you, Lord. I got you. I got you. I got your back. If they ain't got your back, I got your back. Somebody got to tell them something because everybody else been lying to them. They think because their hair cute that everybody that you don't know that they broke. They think because they put on their face together and they got the right outfit and they say cute stuff online that they not worried about money at nighttime. But I know that you know. That's why you have me saying this. Okay, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Because we know. Even if nobody else knows. We know. Okay? And every day that you don't do that, you're going to feel bad about yourself. So there's going to be a couple of things that we're also going to do. This part I haven't addressed yet, but we're going to do this in Friday's workshop. Okay? So right now, you can register until they pull it down, until my assistant pulls the promo code down, which is Friday. So she's probably going to be late doing that. So as of right now, you can take the workshop for $4 because she still has not pulled down the promo code from yesterday's online ad, Instagram ad mess up. So you can still do it. You can literally sign up for less than one trip to Chick-fil-A and you'll get in there. Okay. Other things that we're going to identify. We're going to identify your belief system. Why is that? There's a reason why you haven't done it already. So I want you to put in the chat right now, there's something that you know, and Lord, speak to them. Something that you know you should have been doing that you haven't done it yet. I want you to be honest, tell the truth and shame the devil, and put in the chat, if you know that's you, I want you to say, it's me. Things that you know you should have been done that you haven't done yet. I want you to type in the chat. Let me scroll over right now so I can see. Hello, hey Dee Dee. I want you to type in the chat, that's me. Now, this is going to get kind of serious, okay? So I ain't going to go hard on you right now. Okay, I'm going to go easy because this is sensitive. Let me move to the other mode. This is empathetic, Yannick, coming out. Over the years, I have learned that there are many people who have settled for less than God's best in their life because they've never been affirmed. Okay? You've never been affirmed. All you've been told is what you can't do and what you shouldn't do, but no one affirmed you in what you could do. All they did was tell you about how you messed this up and how you're not good at this and how you're not good at that. And they made you doubt yourself and they made you confused. So you just took the beaten path and you hate this path. You don't even like it, but you did it. Why? Because no one affirmed you. Okay? That is normal. Thank you so much, Naked Musician. God bless you. That's normal. Unfortunately, that's normal. So I would be foolish, or the way my cousin says, and I say this is one of the most disrespectful things that you could say. I would be dumb. And she says, dummy. Okay, I would be dumb, or it would be foolish of me to have a workshop about monetizing your gifts. I didn't say my gifts. I said your gifts. Without addressing the reason why you haven't done it yet. Okay? The reason why you haven't done it yet. Why? The reason you haven't done it yet is a pattern. It is a mental and emotional pattern that you have to address and that we have to rewire and get you, I guess, unconvinced about. And sometimes, depending on where you are, you may have been thinking along these patterns for more than 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 5 years, 18 years, however. And so you don't even realize that the reason you haven't started is a pattern because it's become your normal. Okay? The book Big Leap calls it the upper limit problem. Got it. So I don't know what that is, but we're going to say I've never read that book. But this is just coming from my experience. And I've been coaching and developing entrepreneurs, sales reps for like, I don't even want to say 20 years now because it makes me feel very old. But in my mind, I've only been doing it for a few years. The truth of the matter is I've been doing it for closer to 20 years than 5. Okay. This has come from my observation is you can give someone the best idea. You can give them all the resources. You can give them the time. You can give them the opportunity. But if they are not convinced in their mind that they can do it, they will not do it. And most of the time, it comes from identities in places where there are wounds in their identities. Maybe somebody made fun of you when you were 8. Maybe somebody called you dumb when you were 13. Yes, limiting beliefs, those things too. Right? But it's deeper than that. What I found is that, yes, we do have limiting beliefs, and I have limiting beliefs in here. But most of the time, it is places in their identity that are not healed. Why? We all operate based upon who we assume we are. And a lot of times that is in conflict with what God created you to be. And so whenever you have those conflicts, of who you think you are, but what's in there, you're going to have a lot of cognitive dissonance. And most of the time, people will not move until this is gone. And that's why you think this is a risk and that is a risk, because it's unfamiliar. Just because something is unfamiliar doesn't mean it's a risk. So we have to get into the reason why you're not doing it. And a lot of times it goes in deeply into areas of your identity that are unhealed. And most of the time, it's areas that's just a downright lie. Sometimes people have said things or they're believing things about themselves that's a lie. I had someone say, well, I don't know if I was talking to actually a sales rep. This was some weeks ago. And this person was like, I'm just not good at this, da, da, da. And I was like, yo, I've been coaching you for this amount of time. This is all the money you've made. That's a lie. So then I had to get into, who told you that? Oh, okay. So that's not your thoughts. It was your ex that's been calling you stupid and incapable. So that's not even your words. You just let that person water you with some words that are untrue. And next thing you know, without even realizing it, you started believing it. Okay, now this is a totally different conversation we have to have. Why? How many of you guys look around and you see so many talented people who are stuck? Talented people with great ideas, with great gifts, great experiences, great skills that are stuck. Or they try and they give up really soon. The moment they get a little bit of resistance, they give up. That is a sign that there are limiting beliefs and some areas that need to be healed within their identity. And so I can give you the rest of this framework. We can identify what your vision is. We can go into, what your immediate needs are. We can create a strategy. I can help you to establish your marketing systems, your sales systems. We can put together all of those things. We can get your schedule together, right? We can get your schedule together. We can do everything to make sure that everything about what you're doing is pointing in the direction of where you want to go. But if we don't identify why you haven't done it yet, you'll start with this perfect plan and then you'll abandon it again. And you'll abandon it prematurely. Now, here's the thing. The more you do that, the more it starts to self-sabotage and the more you'll start to believe that nothing can change. Why? Because you'll keep seeing the same results. Every time I start something, I never finish it. It never works out. It never works out. But you never talked about why it didn't work out. It didn't work out because your belief system started triggering back to when you were 9 years old. And so you quit. I'll give you an idea. I remember before I did this work, we'll say the situation I had with, because if y'all have been on here, I had a situation with my ads where I'm like, I had like 100 people or something like that. I had just started some new ads and I had like 100 people to add my product to cart. And I saw I had no checkout. So I was like, what in the world is going on? So I'm looking, like, what? Something's happened. The old me would have been like, unhealed Yannick would have been like, see, I knew it wasn't going to work. I just spent so much money doing this and it's not even worth it. I'm just going to go and do blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to go back to what I've been doing, right? Here, Yannick is like, because when you have those limiting beliefs, when you have those patterns, those areas in your identity that you haven't really addressed, and you start seeing similar things, your mind goes back to that old place. Versus when you identify those beliefs, I'm like, oh no, there's nothing I can't do. Let me figure this out. What happened? And so you go and inspect, you start doing more work. Y'all, I'm still kind of mad about this, but that's okay. It worked out. It was one little button, just one little button that needed to go like that I guess somebody had turned off. Maybe this somebody was me or whatever. It was one button that was off. These are the types of things that, when you're in a place where you've healed those types of things, it doesn't get to you. Signs we have to do this work within that course, and why you need to do your workbook first is when those things happen, you have to, like, if you find yourself being aggravated by the slightest things or the slightest challenges or the slightest amount of resistance, right? If everything has to go right for you to engage something, is a sign that we got to do some work in your belief system. And I have found that there are so many people who settle for less than what they're capable of. And they just go home. Maybe they get some illicit substances and numb themselves and entertain themselves until they wake up the next day and do the same thing that they hate over and over and over again. That will continue to happen until you figure out what that thing is. And so we're also going to talk about that. That'll be the second before last thing that we do next Friday. Well, you're going to work on it today, and I'm going to walk you through it next Friday. So why is it important for you guys to go ahead and download it? If you use the, hopefully it's still working. I think it's still working. If you use the code, thank you so much for liking. If you use the code SORRY50, you can still get it for $4. Why is it important for you to download this today? Because Friday will not be an info session. It is a working session. So, and all of this stuff ain't about me. All of this stuff is figuring out you. Okay? It's all about it's figuring out you. If you go to the link in my bio, you'll get the digital version. Then you get a picture of me with my old haircut. I kind of want to go bald again. I think it's kind of curt. I kind of miss it. Anyway, this is the thing. You grow your hair out, you want a short hair. When you have short hair, you want your hair to grow out. Anyway, right? Regardless, this is all about you. I am going to be referencing this so we can put this into a strategy. I won't have time to go through this item by item. You're going to go through the majority of it. I'm going to answer your questions and we're going to put it all together so you can launch your next income and revenue stream within 72 hours. So that's why you need to download this. Also, if you know 3 people that you like, girl, I want you to send this out to every person you know that has complained about the price of gas, the price of groceries, the price of apartments and housing, home prices, complaining about their job. If you have done any of those things and you are not there, you don't do this, shame on you. Because I'm not even telling you about a trend. I'm telling you, this is how we're going to get what you have out. Or if you think, I don't have nothing, you need to be there. There is not one person living that God did not give a gift to. And if you think that you're one of those people, you need to be there because you definitely need to do the beliefs portion. Because nothing changes until we change. So I'm going to walk you guys through how this is going to work. YouTube, you have any questions, friends? And whatever channel that is. I don't think so. Oh, I didn't add them on there. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. Now, I want you guys hearing this because hopefully by now you've had some sort of aha moment. Like, you know what? I think you're right about this. Listening to this, have you already started thinking about something that you could sell? What is selling? Meaning you have a product or service that someone else would find value in. All right. If you can already think of that, I want you to put in the chat how much you would sell it for. You don't even have to put what the thing is, right? Some of y'all already scared that somebody gonna steal your idea and you ain't never, and you've been sitting on the idea for 20 years. That's not what I'm saying. I just want you to write in the chat how many people you believe you can sell this thing to. I'm sorry, how much you can sell it for. All right. How much can you sell the thing for? Put it in the chat. What's up, Mandy? I haven't seen you in a while. All right. Now, one of the things that I want you to look at is what's called an opportunity loss. We're going to review this. For those who have not seen this, this is very important. What is an opportunity loss, Yannick? I'll tell you what opportunity loss is. Opportunity loss is the money that you have not seen because you've been sitting. Everyone wants to talk about the money that they know that they've lost. All right, you got a job that paid less than the last one, or maybe you got laid off, or maybe you know how much prices are for gas and everything else. If I choke a little bit, I've had some allergies and I got this ginger juice, and the place is the Senegalese restaurant that I get it from, and it's so strong. So if I choke on this, don't laugh, okay? Jeez. But my nose stopped running. And I think that's important. Okay. So this is what an opportunity loss is. It's the amount of money you're actively losing because you have not decided to do that thing yet. So I'm going to show this to you. And I have this on the website so you can see what it is. And I walk people through this all the time when it comes to self-development. I walk businesses through this like, hey, sometimes you don't even realize the money you're leaving on the table. So when you go to the link in my bio, you're going to see where you can go and sign up for the workshop. The next workshop date is October 17th. We already had one today at 12. October 17th, you go here and you get the workbook there. Boom. All right. When you get the workbook, you're going to get an email that's going to have a link here. This is my login with it, but you'll get something like this. Well, you'll get a link to it. It'll show you what to bring. You click here and you RSVP for the next workshop on the 17th, 12. You enter your information. Boom. It's on your calendar. You won't miss it. You'll get it. Okay. So, but this is what we do. You can use this calculator. You can go to the link on my website, even if you just want to play with this calculator. Okay. And maybe you'll sit home today and you're like, and this happens to me all the time. The Lord will give you the idea. Well, you'll sit here like, I don't know what I would do. And then you'll be sitting watching something messy. I don't know what people watch these days, but whatever they watch these days. And the Lord be like, well, you could do this, right? Because God be working with me on stuff. He got my back. So some of y'all, you sitting here, you don't know what I would do. And Jesus is going to tell you tonight. Now, I gave you that idea about that car business, whatever. Okay. So what you do, and someone put in the chat, if you want to do this, you have an idea and you think you can sell it. That's what average potential sale value is. You know how much you would sell that product for. Whatever it is, what you think is worth. All right. Let's say it's something where you sell it for $400. All right. $400. And what I want you to do is think of how many people in a month do you think you could sell this product to with ease? Now, I'll say this. All right. I'm going to teach you guys this. Let me fit black real quick. This is very important. I'm going to share with you a few industry standards. All right. These are industry standards. Okay. Industry standards for direct sales, meaning person to person, meaning I call you on the phone and it's me talking to you, you talking to me. Like right now, this isn't direct. This is online. Okay. Direct sales typically will have about a 50% closing ratio. Let's say it's 35%. If you have a product that you're great with and you already know your offer, which you're going to learn next Friday, whoever you present this product to, you will typically close about 50% of them. Okay. That's direct sales. Now, let's say it is indirect marketing, ads, things like that. The industry standard for that is anywhere between, and let's say it's for retail products, and you just have, let's say you put an online store up, all you do is run ads, whatever, right? You can reach more people, but the closing standard for that is typically between 5 and 10%. If you're great, 15%. Okay. So let's say you have a product that you're like, okay, I totally can do this. Okay, let me bring it back here now that we're here. And then I know you can see me, you see my side profile on YouTube. Luckily, I think I contoured today and I ain't been eating as much. So y'all can get this jawline. All right. So let's say you have this product. Okay, yeah, y'all are still here. All right. Let's say you have a product that you can sell for $400. And you're like, all right, I know my closing ratio is going to be 50%, even if I found 10 people that I called. And remember, we're going to work on a product that you can already think of people who need it. Okay, I'm not talking about your mom and your daddy, maybe them, but just in general. For instance, let's say you do pressure washing. You already know the areas in the neighborhoods where people's driveways look a wreck. Okay, whatever that thing is, let's say you charge $400 for it, or we'll keep something simple. Let's say you charge $250. All right. Most people in the service industry, let's say it's home services or something like that, typically it's going to be around $250. All right. Or for something simple, a simple service. Okay. So let's say you're like, all right, if I talk to 10 people, all right, if I talk to 15 people, or if I talk to 20 people, I know that I'm going to sell at least half of them. All right. Then you go to calculate. That means that for that month, you've made an extra $2,500. That means for the year. Now, mind you, this isn't even you getting good at this. This isn't even like you have ads, you have marketing. This is just, let me pull out my phone and put something on Facebook and put something on whatever, post to the next door, talk to some people. This is whoever the Lord puts on your mind. This ain't even a large number. This is just when I say I'm teaching how to close a deal within 72 hours, this is a number you can come up with that you feel like is closable next week. Okay. Or we'll say next month. So this number 10, that means you're closing 2.5 people a week. Okay. Any one of y'all can close 2 people a week on what you got to do. Turn off your phone. Okay. Delete Netflix. Do whatever you got to do so you can have your attention back. That's normally what it is attention. That means that in a month, you would have made an extra $2,500. Over the course of a year, you would have made an extra $30,000 from just 10 people a month. So you not starting, even at the beginner level of what you're doing. This is without ads. This is without any of those things. You are already losing $30,000 a year in potential. You're already losing that. Over the course of a lifetime, if you barely got better, because most people's businesses will grow by about 15%. So if you stayed here for a long time and you just got very, very like incrementally better, over the course of the next 30 years, you would have lost $13 million. This, ladies and gentlemen, is when people move to the United States, this is what they recognize. Because we are used to being on the plantation, we forget that every little bit adds up over time. So let's say you have a product that sells for $400. All right. You can go on the website now and you can calculate. This is what your opportunity loss is over the course of a year. Now, what happens is sometimes we focus on this number. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's only $4,000 or whatever, right? But if I were to put $50,000 or what is this, $48,000 into your account right now, would you miss it? So if I were to put it in there, what would you do with the money? This is what other people know that we often forget because we are worried about what everybody else is doing online. We're worried about the business that don't pay us. This is what the Lord talks about when he says stewardship and knowing when to plant and when to harvest and just working diligently towards something. And this is only 10 customers. This don't require extensive marketing. Let's say you get this first 10 customers, right? You make $4,000 and then you invest half of that into marketing. So now, instead of it being 10 customers you've closed, let's say you go and you say you close 30 customers. Boom. Now you made an extra 12,000. Let's say maybe you don't have a 450 product. Maybe you have a 250 product. Okay? That's an extra 7,500. An extra 90,000 over the years. Whatever it is. Now let's say you have a smaller product that you can sell to more people. So let's say you can sell 50 people or 100 people, right? Because even if you have something that is like a smaller product, you can sell to 20, 30 people a week, right? Like, think about the kids who sell candy bars in school. They can sell a whole bunch of them because they're not enough. So let's say it's, 100 people, it's a $100 product or something like that, right? Boom. All right, let's say it's a $50 product to 100 people. That's still an extra 10,000. You would have made an extra 120,000 that year over the course of a lifetime. So when people say, don't waste your time, and that time is of the essence, and that the most valuable thing you can get that you have is your time, that's what they mean. Now, here's the thing that's scary is I want every single one of you guys to put what your screen time is. I want you to pull up what your screen time is on your cell phone. Most people in the United States today, they're in the hours daily. Let me tell you, it don't take 6 hours to close one customer. So some of y'all have 4 hours worth of screen time, 6 hours worth of screen time, 3 hours worth of screen time. It don't take 3 hours to close one customer. Some of y'all, if you were to use this calculator, you probably can close a customer a day. You probably can close 2 a day. So just straight out the gate, without having any marketing, you're already at an opportunity loss of thousands of dollars. So y'all, if you don't get it by now, you're just not going to get it. You're going to look up next year, hoping that the creek hasn't risen. And you'll look up 5 years from now and 10 years from now, and you'll be talking about the price of gas. And you'll be talking about the price of milk and eggs. And you'll be talking about how like, oh, well, you know how they say the house is going to come back down. No, they're not. If so, it might be a crash. Are you going to have the money to pay it for it in cash? Because typically when the market crashes, everybody else crashed with it. Jobs crash too. So just because it crashes, does that mean you're going to have the money? Are you going to have the money when everything goes on sale? Are you going to keep chasing trends that you're not going to follow through with? Or are you just going to use the thing that God gave you? And look, you got to use what you got. People are always trying to reach for what they don't have, but you haven't taken the first step of monetizing what you do have and what you can do. And so that is what I'm all about, is doing that thing. Or you're going to figure out that, because I have learned that some people are addicted to losing. Are you addicted to losing? So you might be so used to losing that you don't know how to win anymore. You don't even know how it feels. Losing is a familiar friend to you. Some of y'all haven't started because you're used to living on the edge. It gives you adrenaline rush. You're used to jumping from place to place, having to move every time your rent goes up. You were born into poverty. You're gonna die in poverty because you don't want to change. No, because here's the thing. This is sound wisdom. If you've been here for this amount of time, this is sound wisdom. And this ain't no gimmick. It ain't a trend. Notice I'm not telling you do what I do. I'm saying this is what you do. We're doing what you're supposed to be doing. It ain't about what I do. I do what I do well, but are you even doing what you're supposed to do? Or how do you take that thing to the next level? But some people, if you listen to this and you're like, sign up and tell the devil that he's a liar. Tell him he's a liar. Nothing changes until we change. The problem is that no one's convinced that they're the one who needs to change. It's always everyone else who needs to change. And every time you don't make those investments of time, effort, and energy into yourself. And here's the thing. I've noticed that there's two types of people. There's those who are storing for what's next, or then there are those who only act when their back is against the wall. The problem is when you only act when your back is against the wall, the only thing you do is take yourself out of the negative back to surviving. The only way to thrive is to give room to float. Life should not feel like you're either under or your mouth is like, okay? If you only perform when your back is against the wall, you only go from drowning to getting back afloat. This is supposed to help you to have more than enough. And then when you have more than enough, then you can start paying off your debt. You can start doing all of those things. And you can try to piecemeal your way into it, and that's nothing wrong with that, if that's the way that you like to do it. Or you can create income using what you already have. So anyway, I have to get to finish up some things for my main business. But I want to share that. And you guys are going to see me, follow me. This is a calling for me. I can just feel it. And I've taught a lot of people how to do this who already have a lot of cash. But typically the people who really need it always hesitate. So even if it's just one of you, well, it's going to be because I have ads, but from live today, not from my ads. If there's only one person that comes from live and you are in 6 months, you're like, Yannick, I'm so glad you did that. I've done my job. And Lord, you just give me some extra points. Because sometimes I laugh about stuff on social media that I don't have no business laughing at. And I might have had a bad comment or two. So Lord, forgive me. But this is going to be on the other side of that. Okay? Y'all help me to get my heaven points together by making sure that I am serving the Lord in all that I do. And one of the things he wants is his sheep to get out of that thing. You can't bless anyone if you are always the person that's in need of a blessing. Let's make that commitment. We are going to go from literally from the borrowers to the lenders. Okay, you're going to be the person to bless others and not to be the person in need of a blessing. The only way to do that is to continue to use your God-given gifts. So anyway, I think some of y'all have sent me a message because I saw TikTok pull something up. I'm still learning how to do this. Let's see. It popped up that some of y'all sent me a direct message. If you did send me a direct message, or if you're about to, I'll go ahead and email you or DM you the information that you need. But also just follow me, click the link in my bio. You'll go there. And remember, the code is currently still working. It's SORRY50. SORRY50. And the next workshop is next Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Let's say you don't make it. If you are registered for that workshop, I will send you the replay of that particular workshop. But I want you to be on there because I'm working y'all individually through it. Meaning we're going to see each other. We're going to talk through it. It's going to be hands-on. It's not going to just be you absorbing information. This is more of development than coaching. This is more of mentorship than just learning. And so I want to walk you through the process so that way your little heart won't be beaten. And I want you to feel confident, and I want you to feel clarity. And you will need certainty, right? But we need clarity. If you have God, you got certainty. But you can have clarity and you can have a path of what your particular path is, because we're going to be discussing what your gifts are, how to monetize your gifts and set a path for you individually. And that's not something that I can do with you if you do not present yourself or do to the best of my ability. If you are not present and I can't say, James, you said in your workbook you wanted to do this. Okay, let's do that. So we can answer those questions. And why is this important? I have helped launch probably 50, 100 different businesses. Not all of them are mine, obviously, but I have helped so many businesses establish their businesses all the way from the LLC portion to establishing their systems, to hiring their first employees, even from finding office space to recruiting, everything needed to set the foundations of a business that's going to thrive. I've done it over and over and over again in every market, from Indianapolis, Atlanta, Los Angeles, New York, some in Connecticut, Illinois, North Carolina, South Carolina, Louisiana, Alabama, Florida. I think the only place I haven't done so is in Mississippi, and that's because, I'm sorry if you live in Mississippi, but I'm not a fan of Mississippi. And I don't usually travel to Mississippi unless I'm traveling through, but maybe you're Mississippi. But Texas, Colorado, even New Mexico. Only places I have not are maybe like Wyoming and places like that. But if it's been in a major market in the United States, I have opened up and helped someone establish a business there. Some in brick and mortar, and some, and if it's not something that requires brick and mortar, just establishing the foundations that they can work up to. So I've done it so many different times. I can do it like this. I can do it like this. Okay. So y'all be good. I have some things I have to respond to from my clients. I did not mean to be on here for this long, but y'all go in there and yeah, maybe I'll come back to Instagram Live. I took like a 1.5 year break from Instagram Live. So bye y'all. Have a good day. Click the link. I'll talk to y'all soon.